Namaste, I'm going to read Volume 3, Book 4, KotiRudra Samhita, Chapter 4, The Greatness of Atrisvara in the Shiva Puran. Sutta said, once the great sage Atri, the foremost among the knowers of Brahman, woke up and spoke to his wife, "Give me water." Of course, that chaste lady took the water pot and went into the forest, but she began to muse, "Whence can I fetch water? What shall I do? Where shall I go? How can water be fetched?" Wandering thus, she saw Ganga. By the time she went over to her, Ganga, the most excellent river, assumed a beautiful form and spoke to her. Ganga said, "O gentle lady, I am delighted with you. Where are you going? Tell me now. O fortunate lady, you are blessed. I shall truly carry out your behest." Sutta said, on hearing her words, the saintly woman, the wife of the sage, was greatly surprised. "O Brahmins," she replied with great pleasure. Anasuya said, "O beautiful lady, with eyes like lotus petals, whence have you come? Please tell me the truth. A chaste lady speaks good words." Sutta said, "O great sages, when the wife of the sage spoke thus, the divine form, Ganga, the foremost of the river, said, Ganga said, O chaste lady, on seeing the service rendered by you and unto your Lord and to Shiva, the great soul, and on taking view of your holy rites, I am staying near you. O lady of pure smiles, I am Ganga, come here, attracted by your worship. Choose whatever you wish." Sutta said, on hearing what Ganga said, the chaste lady bowed to her and said, "If you are pleased, madam, give me water now." On hearing her words, Ganga said, "Dig a pit." She then made a pit in a trice, came and stood before her. Ganga entered the pit, which became full of water. In surprise, Anasuya took the water. Anasuya, the wife of the sage, spoke for the welfare of the people to Ganga, the excellent river of divine form. Anasuya said, "If you are delighted, if you have sympathy for me, you will please stay here till my husband comes." Sutta said, on hearing the words of Anasuya, pleasing to the good, the delighted Ganga said, "O sinless lady, you will give my water to Atri." When Ganga said thus, Anasuya acted accordingly. She gave the divine water to her lord and stood before him. The sage performed the Achmana duly with great pleasure and drank the divine water. On drinking it, he derived great happiness. "Oh, this is not the water usually drunk by me." After thinking thus, he suddenly looked all round. On seeing the trees dry and withered, and the quarters rough and arid, the excellent sage spoke to her. "No rain has fallen." Oh, on hearing what he said, the beloved lady replied in the negative. He then asked her whence she brought that water for him. When he said this, O great sages, Anasuya was much surprised. She then thought within herself, "If I tell him the truth, it will be the exhibition of my greatness. If I do not tell him, it will be a violation of my rights. I shall tell him in a manner to avoid the contingencies." Even as she was musing thus, she was asked again and again. Then, thanks to the blessings of Shiva, an intelligent idea struck her mind. "O Lord, please hear me. I shall tell you what has happened." Anasuya said, "Thanks to the power of Shiva and your merits, Ganga has come here herself. This is her water, to be sure." Sutta said, on hearing this, the sage was surprised in his mind. Remembering Shiva mentally, he spoke to his beloved, with great pleasure. Atri said, O beloved, O beautiful lady, whether you speak truth or lie, I cannot believe it. This is something rare. O auspicious lady, how did that happen, which is impossible even to the yogins and the gods? I am extremely surprised. If I see that myself, I shall believe it, not otherwise. On hearing his words, the beloved wife spoke to the husband. Anasuya said, O Lord, O great sage, please come with me if you wish to see Ganga, the foremost among the rivers. Suta said, after saying this and remembering Shiva, the chaste lady took her husband to the place where Ganga, the foremost among the rivers, was present. There the chaste lady showed to her husband Ganga of divine form stationed within the pit. Going there and seeing the beautiful pit full to the brim of water, the excellent sage said, She is blessed. Is this the fruit of my own penance or of somebody else? After saying this, the leading sage eulogized her with devotion. Then the sage took a clean bath in that excellent water. After performing the Achmana, he eulogized her again and again. Anasuya too took her bath in that beautiful clear water. The sage performed the routine rites. Anasuya too, of good rites, performed likewise. Then Ganga told her, I am returning to my place. When this was said, the chaste lady spoke to the leading river again. Anasuya said, O goddess, if you are delighted, if you are kind to me, you will stay in this penance grove forever. This is the nature of the great, that once they accept a request, they will never forego it. After expressing her desire with joined palms, she eulogized her again and again. The sage said likewise, O leading river, you shall stay. O goddess, be favorably to us and bless us with your support. On hearing his pleasing words, the leading river Ganga was delighted in her mind and spoke to Anasuya. Ganga said, I shall stay back for helping the gods if you pass on to me a year's merit accruing to you by worshipping Lord Shiva. I am not so much satisfied with charitable gifts or ceremonial ablutions in the holy centers or sacrifices or the practice of yogic rites as I am satisfied with chastity. O chaste lady, this is the truth I speak, that the mind is not so pleased by any other means as it is pleased at the sight of a chaste lady. On seeing a chaste lady, all my sins have perished. I have become purified, and like Parvati, have become chaste. If you seek for welfare, you give up the merit for the benefit of the world, then I shall become steady and stable here. Suta said, on hearing these words, the chaste Anasuya passed on a year's merit to Ganga. It is the nature of the great that they do what is beneficial to others. The instant of gold, sandal, and sugarcane juice may be cited. On seeing the performance of Anasuya, a chaste woman, Lord Shiva was delighted and appeared out of his earthen phallic form. Shiva said, O chaste lady, on seeing this activity of yours, I am delighted. Mention the boon you wish to choose, since I am very fond of you. Then the couple glanced at the wonderfully beautiful form of Shiva. On seeing five-faced Shiva, they were much surprised. Bowing to and eulogizing Shiva, the benefactor of the worlds, the couple, endowed with great devotion, spoke to him after worshipping him. The couple said, O Lord of gods, if you are delighted, if the mother of the universe is also delighted, please stay in this penance grove and be the bestower of happiness to the worlds. Then the river Ganga was delighted. Shiva too was pleased. Then stayed at the hermitage of the excellent sage. Lord Shiva, the destroyer of miseries, was known as Atrisvara. Ganga too stayed in the pit by her magical power. Thence onwards, there is a perennial supply of water in that pit, deep only by a hand's length. Ganga flows gently there. Divine sages came there with their womenfolk, and the sages who had formerly gone out of the various holy centers returned. Barleys and food grains were plenty. People interested in sacrifices performed these, accompanied by the sages. O great sages, delighted with these rites, clouds showered in plenty. there was great bliss in the world. Thus the greatness of Atrisvara has been explained to you. It is pleasing and conducive to worldly pleasures and salvation. It yields all desires and enhances devotion. Footnotes. There's no footnotes in this chapter. Here in Siddhi's reading of the Shiva Puran. Prabhu Puran Ratam, Bhupesh Ratam, Jagannath Ratam, Sarva Hari Om Tat Sat.